Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook. Well, hey, everybody. How's it going tonight? J-Mac, the Bearded One, here with you. I'm joined tonight by Chris P. Bacon and Sarge. Might be joined by a fourth bro later, but for right now, this is the Four Bros Radio Show on the Coast to Coast Network. We are going at dark 30 because we get a little dirty. Let's not forget that that's our slogan. Real quick before we get going, we got two things to take care of real quick. One, we have to say our newest sponsor, which is AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Come see your friendly neighborhood people working down at AutoZone. They'll get you all the parts you need and help you out the best they can. Sarge, what do you think of AutoZone? Get in the zone.
Man, I'm always in the zone when I'm at AutoZone. So, I mean, if you need car repairs or anything else like that, just go there and they'll hook you up. If you need to use those little electronic computers, they'll hook you up. I mean, that's what I do every time I get a check engine light. So.
Yep, and so let's not forget our guys at AutoZone. Now, real quick, Chris, what do these people have to do that are listening or watching? What do they got to do to get into the YouTube giveaway?
All you got to do is go to our Facebook page, the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network Facebook page. Should be the first post. It's a pinned post on there. You click the link. It guides you to the YouTube page. All you have to do is subscribe, and you'll be entered to win something that we're giving away. We're giving away a lot of stuff, from T-shirts to hats, koozies, phone cases. It ranges.
Yeah, each prize package, we're giving away two, and we've decided each prize package added up is between $40 and $50 value, and what you have to do for that is nothing. Push a button. Push a button and it's $40 to $50 value. Isn't that kind of sweet, Sarge? You really got to do nothing but subscribe. That's it.
I know. If you have nothing should stop you unless you have carpal tunnel. That's about it. All you have to do is hit the button, and you're good to go.
You don't have to call a number, text a number.
Right. Exactly. Just subscribe. So now that we got that stuff out of the way, I thought, guys, we'd talk. We might not go the full half hour tonight, but we'll go as long as we can. But let's talk about what we think about the upcoming NFL season. Training camp started either today or yesterday for most teams. And I know that the return of some players were... what do you say? How do you say it? The return of some players was expected, and then unexpected on some other players. And of course, I'm talking about the one they called the bad man up there in Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers. Now, here's a cool thing about Aaron Rodgers. Now, this tells you how arrogant he is, by the way. And I'm a Packer fan saying this. I'm actually repping them tonight on the shirt. So let me tell you how arrogant he is. He goes to training camp after telling them all offseason he's not coming back, and then just degrades the entire organization for 20 minutes after practice. Did you see any of that, Sarge?
I saw it, and he posted a picture of The Last Dance, and that's definitely not how The Last Dance went on that one. And also, he reminded me some guy coming from the Pacific Northwest with that man bun and a beard. I mean, come on.
Chris, what were your thoughts on it?
He's very talented, but I think he comes off, at least from that conference, like a little snarky. I know he's only won one Super Bowl, and he is talented, but I don't think that's how you should treat your players, your teammates,
Yeah, and you know what's funny to me, and Sarge, I'll start with you on this one, is he was a huge proponent of, Brett Favre didn't act the right way at the end of his time with Green Bay.
True.
Yeah. He was sitting there saying that, and look how he just acted when they drafted a quarterback in the first round without asking him. The same situation, and he reacted pretty much the same way. So,
Green Bay's thinking Groundhog Day.
I guess so. He's saying someone else did wrong, but he basically come out and does the same thing. So it's that's kind of interesting to think about.
But
But
is
enough
he-
about that. Well, I mean, I don't want to go. I don't want to go into all that. I don't want to take up the whole show talking about that because we could. But I want to tell you that I was looking at Instagram today, and they brought out some stuff as far as like the best players at certain positions, and wanted to get your guys' thoughts on some of these. See if you think they're right on. And I'm gonna pull them up here in a second. So. But what are you guys' thoughts? Like, all right, so we're talking, we're talking running back, quarterback. So top running backs. This is ranked by in Madden 22, the game. Has anyone? Do you guys buy that game yet?
I haven't bought the recent, but I mean
No. It's always the same game, different roster.
I completely agree with that. That's why I don't ever buy the new one. But I'll say this. I'll say that Madden 22 has Christian McCaffrey as the top overall running back in the NFL. Number 2, they have Derrick Henry at number 2. They have Nick Chubb at number 3. Dalvin Cook at number 4. Alvin Kamara at number 5. Aaron Jones at 6. Saquon Barkley at 7, Josh Jacobs at 8, Ezekiel Elliott at 9, and Joe Mixon at 10. Now, y'all personally know how I feel about Joe Mixon. This is a horrible, horrible human being and should not be in the NFL. I don't think he should be allowed to play football. That'll be other reasons. We'll talk about that on another show. But what do you think about that rankings? Do you think someone's too high, someone's too low? There's someone not in there that should be in there? Sarge, I'll start with you. Tell us what you think.
I have to agree with you on the Joe Mixon one because I don't know how he is in there. It just baffles me. I disagree with that one. He shouldn't be in the top 10 or in the top 20 for that. But pretty much as you go down, I'm surprised Derrick Henry wasn't number 1. I'm surprised Christian McCaffrey was at 97. And I think later on you're going to see Saquon Barkley for running backs whose overall ranking was 90. But you got to remember he's coming off a injured year with his knee. So expect that rating to go up. But other than that, I was okay with the ratings, and same with Aaron Donald being like 5 times in a row for 99.
Yeah. Chris P. Bacon, what's up? What do you think, brother?
I mean, the list sounds good except for Nixon. I agree he should be out. Derrick Henry should be at least either number 1 or number 2, preferably number 1. But other than that, I mean, I kind of agree with this.
Okay. Let's move over to cornerbacks. We'll jump back and forth to some different ones, but so your defensive backs out on the corner, top lockdown cornerbacks in the NFL. They have Jalen Ramsey at number 1. They have Stephen Gilmore at 2. Jair Alexander at 3. Tre'Davious White at 4. Marion Humphrey at 5. Xavier Howard at 6. James Bradbury the 4th at 7. Denzel Ward at 8. Kendall Fuller at 9. And Darius Slay at number 10. Thoughts on that one? We'll start with you, Chris.
List sounds good to me. So
Anyone you think should be on it, or anyone that's too high or too low?
no,
No, it's about right, you think?
yeah,
Sarge, what's your thoughts?
I would drop Jalen Ramsey to 97. Him and Gilmore should be tied, in my opinion. To be honest with Ramsey, I don't see much what he really does, to be honest with you. But you got Gilmore, who's AKA, I believe, is Gillock. So I think they should be tied at number 1 and number 2.
Okay. I could see that. What's interesting to me is that Jair Alexander is on there at number 3, which, being a Green Bay fan, I think he definitely is warranted of being the number 3 corner in the NFL. And I'll get to my point in a minute after we go through a couple more lists. Because remember, Aaron Jones was in the top 10 as far as a running back as well. And so I think you know where I'm going with this one. But I believe we're going to do safeties next, if I can get that pulled up. Do you have the list pulled up in front of you, Sarge?
I do. I actually do.
So go ahead and give us the safeties 10 through 1.
Okay, I'm just going to start from number 1.
That's fine.
with Tyrann Mathieu, he's at 95. Bubba Baker, 93. Devin McCourty is number 3 with 92. Jesse Bates is at 91. Justin Simmons is at 91. Harrison Smith is at 90. Jamal Adams is at 90. Adrian Amos is 89. Eddie Jackson is 89. And Minka Fitzpatrick is 89.
Okay, so again, you guys aren't big Green Bay fans. I am. But look, another Green Bay on the defensive side ends up in the top 10 and Adrian Amos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're starting to get my point here. So you got a running back in the top 10. You got a cornerback in the top 10. You got a safety in the top 10. And if you have the wide receivers pulled up, go ahead and go with those next.
All right, where is it at? All right, so at number 1, Devontae Adams ranking at 99. DeAndre Hopkins at number 2 at 98. Tyreek Hill is at 98. In the number 4 slot, Stephon Diggs with 97. Number 5 is Julio Jones, ranked 95. Michael Thomas, who's ranked 94. We're going to go to 7. Keenan Allen is at 93. Amari Cooper is at 92. Mike Evans is 91. And last is Allen Robertson at 90.
So think about this now. Devontae Adams, number 1, right?
Mhm.
We just said that, didn't we? Okay. So now we got 2 defensive players in the top 10. We now have the top running back in the NFL, or top 10 running back in the NFL. Now let's go edge rushers, and I have that list pulled up. You got Myles Garrett at 1, you got Khalil Mack at 2, TJ Watt at 3, Chandler Jones at 4, JJ Watt at 5, Cameron Jordan at 6, Von Miller at 7, Joey Bosa at 8, Nick Bosa at 9, and Zadarius Smith, another Green Bay Packer in the top 10, is number 10. Okay? Following me so far, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now,
I think I know where you're coming from with all of this, but
you think I know where I'm coming from with all of this? Well, I'll reveal that in a minute. Now, there was one more, which was offensive lineman. I'm going to look that one up as well and go on that. And so, let's see. That's running backs. Chris, where do you think I'm going with all this?
that Aaron Rodgers says that he needs help, but really all the help is there.
Wow. You actually nailed it right on the head, man, because you look at offensive linemen, and again, you have David Bakhtiari, who's number 4 at tackle. And then I think if you go guard, you have a top 5 guard in the NFL as well. So you have, what, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, David Bakhtiari, then you keep going. I mean, then you have Jair Alexander and Adrian Amos on the defensive side, along with Zadarius Smith. And you have Aaron Jones in the backfield, Devontae Adams, and of course, Rodgers at quarterback. So my only point on all this is Rodgers did all this stuff in the offseason saying, you didn't get me any help, you didn't get me all this, said it wasn't about drafting Jordan Love in the first round. But looking at all of this, how could it not be about drafting Jordan Love in the first round? You have every position rank that came out, you have a top 10 player in on your team.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you wanted to go kickers, Mason Crosby is still one of the most accurate kickers in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think Rodgers is a bit of a crybaby. I'm probably going to hear some slack back on that being a Packers fan, but I don't care because when's the last time you've seen Brady come out? And I am not a Brady fan. Everyone needs to know that. I'm not a Brady fan. But when's the last time Brady has come out and said, I don't have any help. I can't win a Super Bowl because I don't have any help.
Never, because his last Super Bowl with the Patriots, that's when he actually had no help. Like, Wes Welker he had no receivers pretty much during that Super Bowl. And
As a quarterback or somebody with any team, you have to you have to play with what cards you're dealt with. Sometimes you don't have any help. Sometimes you have help. You just got to use what you got.
And Randall Cobb just re-signed with Green Bay. He just got traded back to Green Bay. So
And he's good too. I mean,
and if you look at last year's numbers, you also had Robert Tonyan, who was a top 10 tight end last year. I mean, the list goes on. The list goes on. And I'm not here to bash Rodgers, but I'm just telling you, the pieces are there. Just stop making excuses and just win the game.
I don't think you're bashing him. I think you're criticizing him in a good way. You're saying, yeah, you have the help.
No, he's jealous because he sees all these cheeseheads in the stands, and he can't get any of the cheese for all this wine that he's doing. So that's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've always known that Rodgers was kind of a California kid, and again, I'm not bashing on the guy because he is my team's quarterback, and I'm going to root for him when it comes to the field. But man, it's time to put up or shut up at this point. I'm sorry, but this season is put up or shut up because you took this off season. You said you weren't coming back unless all this happened. They re-signed your running back. You got Devontae Adams. You got Robert Tonyan. You got Aaron Jones. You got defensive players. They got you some defensive help. This year is a put up or shut up season for Aaron Rodgers. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. And one thing I do want to say is everyone's blaming about you should have kicked the field goal in that NFC Championship game. What about Rodgers not continuing to run to the end zone on that one play where he had 3 yards ago and he slides?
Completely agree. There's definitely other plays you can look at. One play doesn't lose a game. What decision doesn't lose a game? And
you can play the what if game. It's not gonna, you can't take it back now.
And you know what I hear all the time. Is I hear, oh, but he doesn't throw interceptions. I mean, cool story, bro. But
you're not
just
human
you
if you don't.
I mean, outside of two quarterbacks ever, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, outside of those two quarterbacks throw interceptions. Correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just part of the game. It's just what happens. And the fact that you don't throw interceptions doesn't mean that you're the best thing since sliced bread. You still have to win games. And I don't know. I don't want to go off on that anymore. But I wanted to get the position ranks. Any of those guys that you guys think are too high in any of those positions? Sarge?
Oh, too high? I gotta really look at the list here.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Mac is not as high as he is, even though he's number 2. I thought his rating should be a little bit higher. And J.J. Watt, he's going to go a little bit too high on my end. I mean, he's on the downhill of his career with that. And but I'm more surprised with Aaron Donald because he's at the 99 rating for the fifth time this year. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Chris, what are your thoughts?
I would think McCaffrey's a little too high, maybe number 2, and then you put Derrick Henry, maybe above that. But other than that, I don't have a problem.
I would agree with that. I mean, for being a Panther fan, I would totally agree with that because I don't know what a healthy McCaffrey is.
I mean, I agree he's high enough, but maybe not number 1 at the moment.
Can we swing back to the Green Bay saga really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, this just popped in my head. They're getting all this attention and everything else. What is this going to really do to the team? And what is going to happen if you fail? What's going to happen with that? I know Aaron Rodgers is going to probably leave and complain.
Yeah.
But what happens if it just becomes a giant train wreck?
The coach will be gone.
No, I don't think the coach will be gone. I don't think the coach, because I don't think Goot is gonna. The GM is gonna fire Matt LaFleur anytime. I think so. Here's the issue I have. I think this is part of the problem. It was just like when Mike McCarthy came in and Brett Favre was at the end of his career. Brett Favre was not Mike McCarthy's guy. That wasn't the guy he wanted running his team. So he willed his way into, I wanted Aaron Rodgers, and that's kind of the way he got it. He got his way in the end by pushing Favre out. I kind of believe it's the same thing with Matt LaFleur. Like, Rodgers isn't his guy. Rodgers is not the guy he wants running the offense. So he's trying to do everything in his power to push him out and get someone else in that he does want running the offense. Do you think that's way far off, Sarge, or does that seem like that's pretty much what's going on?
I think it seems pretty much what's going on, but with all of the antics that Rodgers is doing, it's becoming a circus show. So,
Well, the Favre team was too. I mean,
okay.
Making account on this.
Chris, I won't disagree with you that Rodgers. I'm sorry, that Favre did have some drama at the end. I'm not going to disagree with that point. The one point that I will disagree with, however, though, is that Favre told them he was coming back, I believe, in late June, early July, before training camp started. And the words that they spoke to him were, that's fine if you want to come back, but you need to compete with the new kid for your job. After he had played there for 16 years and had been the starter for 15 consecutive seasons and not missed a game.
Right.
Now, I don't see that as fair. Now, they didn't tell Rodgers any of that. They didn't tell him he had to compete for his job. This was all, he brought all this on. He's the one that started all of this. So that's where it's a little different in my book, is that they didn't let a guy who was already the starter come back and just have his job without competing. And I think that's where it was a little different. Now we know once he went to New York and then Minnesota, he became a completely different guy, felt entitled, whatever. And he even admitted, if you haven't read his book, I have his book. Let's see if I can find it real quick and tell you that in this book, he talks about, by the way, here's his book. He talks about how the last 2 seasons in Minnesota, he was done playing football. He didn't care anymore. He didn't want to play.
Wow.
But at the time, they called him and offered him the highest contract he had ever been offered in his entire career.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm 39 years old, and they call me and want me to come back and play 2 seasons for more money than I've ever made in my career. Why the hell not? I mean,
It's hard to walk away from that. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so at the end, it was about the money. It wasn't about the game. But all this time in Green Bay was all about the game. It wasn't about the money. So anyway, that was the difference to me, is they kind of forced him out. I believe Rodgers, they wouldn't have forced him out. But anyway, like 7 minutes ish left in the show. Sarge, you want to give us an update on the Olympics? What's going on there?
Yeah, let me bring it up. So we all know that that Biles did not compete in the all-around individuals or teams for the gymnastics, but Sunny Lee, she came out with gold, which was awesome. So right now, USA has 41 medals, China's at 33, and Russia's at 30. But China has 16 gold medals compared to US 14. So I watched a little bit of the USA and Japan softball team. It was a nail biter. Unfortunately, the US did lose 2-0 in that match. But like I also watched some of that 3-on-3 tournament or the 3-on-3 basketball. It was like a pick-me-up basketball type stuff that was going on. I thought it was kind of cool. And of course, there was a ladies USA dominating that one. So things are going good, and we kicked some butt in the swimming as well.
Yeah.
USA.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't forget, part of that prize package is a USA Olympic jersey, by the way, in that prize package for the YouTube subscription. So all you got to do is push a button, and you can look like the Olympians. That's pretty freaking cool, if you ask me.
Yep.
So, Chris, why don't you give us a quick rundown of your indoor football league and let us know what's going on there?
Not much going on this week or this past week, but there's 5 games going to he played this weekend and all on Saturday. And you can find those on YouTube under the Indoor Football YouTube page.
Okay. So, we usually end the show with rapid fire, and I know that it's everybody's favorite segment on the show. But I thought, why don't we do something a little different tonight? Why don't we give the fans something a little different, and let's see how everyone takes it. And then maybe we'll add a couple more games, and we'll just mix them around. What do you guys think? Do something a little different for once?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not always rapid fire. So I think tonight what we're going to do is I'm going to play a clip from a famous announcer, and you're each gonna get a guess at who the announcer is. Does that sound like fun? That sounds like fun to me.
That sounds like fun.
This
Yeah.
is going to be horrible.
It might, but it'd be fun. It'd be horrible for me, probably.
So let's start with Sarge. And let's see which ones he can. Let's see if he can get this one. Sarge, are you ready?
I am ready.
Here comes the 0-2. High drive into right, back into wall, it is gone! Grand slam, Montero! Game one hero! Here's a 2-1. Well shot. Moustakis.
Give you a little more.
There it is! The Washington Nationals are world champions for the first time in franchise history. Manning lobs it. Boris alone. Touchdown.
Okay.
Take a look at this ride.
Is it Joe Buck?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. That's why I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, but the crowd noise was like really loud, so I was like, no.
All right. Right. Let's see if Chris can get this one.
Okay.
You Budweiser summer patriotic fans are here.
Be just a second. I got to get through this little part here. Here we go.
We've been all over the place, and now it's time for real.
I'm excited to be here. Told you earlier, I got butterflies. It's opening day. You're doing good. You're going to be great this year.
It's
Stay
going to be
calm.
just fine.
I got you.
Okay? Thank you. I need that reassurance. It's great to have you. Check.
Jim, I got $5. This is a run to the left.
I think that's all you get, Chris, because I think that's all you need.
Jim Nance and Tony Romo.
Jim Nance and Tony Romo. You are correct.
I was done.
All right. Let's
You wouldn't have
let's
gotten it?
I've gotten it wrong.
let's do a little bit harder one for you, Sarge. You have to wait through this little part. Here you go. Here it comes.
The possibilities there are really intriguing. Cabrera with a drive. And then Woods gone. There goes the runner. There goes Correa again.
So if you can't make it out, his famous saying is Santa Maria!
Oh. I'm gonna say, shoot. Who was that manager for the White Sox? I forget his name.
Tony La Russa?
No. He was Hispanic. From the
Ozzie Guillen?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that guy.
No. Chris, do you know? Have any idea?
I don't.
Matt Vasgersian.
Well, I've heard of him.
Never heard of him.
No, I've heard of him.
Oh. All right. So, Chris, back to you.
Uh-huh.
I don't think, if you don't know this one, I'm pretty sure Sarge will. So,
Okay.
Here's the pitch. A curveball! Through the deep left. Gonna get way out of here and gone for deer. And they have fired it. Gone for Maldonado. He just hit a walk-off out of here. And this one is over. Martin Maldonado.
okay.
I don't know.
No?
Mm-mm.
Here, let's try this one. You might get it with this one, Sarge. Possibility you would have gotten it with this one too, Chris, but let's see.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Doyle here, welcoming all you
He
friends
said
of the
his name.
feather to another season of Indians baseball. A lot of new faces in Chief Wahoo's tribe this year. As they
He
take
said
on
his
the
name.
American League champs, the New York
Nope,
Yankees.
that's not his real name. What's his real name, Sarge?
Is it Harry Carey?
No, he played Harry Doyle, and his name is Bob Euchre.
That's right. That's
Good
right.
stuff. It's outside.
I like to me.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah, him and Harry Carey sound about the same. Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Hey. All right. So, last one. Let's see if you can get this one. I'm actually gonna go with. I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna tell you maybe what their famous tagline was.
Okay.
Maybe we'll go with that for the last one. So, famous tagline of this announcer would be one of his most famous bits. Do you believe in miracles?
Oh. I think I know.
What, Chris?
Al Michaels.
Al Michaels is the correct answer. So, Chris, you win our first. What do we call this game? We call this game. Who it be? Let's go with that name. Who it be? Who it be? You win the first game. I think next time we come on, we'll try another game. Maybe we'll do word association or something like that. I think that'll be kind of fun. So let's try that. But this is J-Mac for Sarge and Chris P. Bacon. I'm going to let Chris P. Bacon have a couple of seconds here. Chris, go ahead and say whatever you want to say, man.
Thank you guys for watching and listening. The shows this week some of them are going to be pre-recorded, so tune in for what we got going on. And Sunday morning we're going to be doing an NFL preview show. It's going to be one of our newest shows, the NFL Morning Tailgate. So that'll be around 10:30 in the morning Central Time.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. And Sarge, go ahead, man.
All right. So I had 3 poor decisions yesterday, kind of like the Mariners. So what I mean by that is that the Mariners made a poor decision with their trading. So with the MLB trading deadline coming up, let's see. I want to see if the Mariners can actually do something trading wise. And next week, I hope we do talk about the trades that happen with the MLB with the 4 bros here. It should get pretty good. So thank you for watching. Share, like, do whatever. Just click that button.
Yeah, thanks for that. And by the way, Sarge, thanks for previewing Monday's show. I believe we will totally talk about the MLB trade deadline. I didn't want to talk about it tonight because we pre-recorded on Thursday for Friday, and it kind of a lot of stuff's going to happen Friday. So, but Monday we will be back with you, and we will talk all MLB trade deadline, and see all the big stories and the big trades and see what happened there, see where everyone lies then. But for tonight, this is J-Mac the Bearded One with Sarge and Chris P. Bacon. I thank y'all for watching, listening, like, subscribe. Go check out the YouTube page, subscribe, and get yourself in the drawing. Your name in that for that drawing of one of those prize packages. Some good stuff. So, Dave, this is J-Mac on his own, signing out. We will see you on the other side.